Om Namah Shivaya. Thank you very much for watching my this podcast where I'm going to talk about my personal experience with struggle, with darkness, with anxiety, with fear, and my meeting with Lord Shiva. Today I'm going to touch a very interesting subject which most of the time we don't even realize that affecting us in a very negative manner, but we keep doing it because we are not realizing it. What we are doing is wrong, is harming us. Whenever someone tells you a story about what went wrong in their life, you'll notice something very interesting. In their version of the story, they are always the victim. Like the history has written by the victors, a struggle story is always told by a victim. And most of the time, we all do this because somewhere deep inside, we like seeing ourselves as a person who was wrong. We like the sympathy, we like the emotional support people give us after hearing our pain. We like that victim identity, right? And slowly, without realizing it, we become attached to a victim identity. There is a famous idea called the Rashomon Effect. Maybe some of you have heard about the movie Rashomon. It's a Japanese movie. The idea is very simple: one incident, different people, and different version of truths. Nobody is completely lying, but everybody is speaking from their own experience, emotions, pain, and ego. And honestly, life is also like that. In Sanatan Dharma, also, truth is often seen differently by different people. If someone says Shiva is the greatest god, that becomes truth for them. If someone says Vishnu is the greatest god, that is also truth for them. People experience different truth. It's not necessary that different set of people will experience the same truth. And maybe maturity is learning to respect another person's experience of truth even when it's a different from ours. Let me give you a real life example I personally witnessed. I was working in a company where the CEO and the co-founder were extremely close friends. Extremely. You will find them talking most of the times with each other than they have spent time with their wives, respective wives. Not normal friends, they had known each other for almost 12 to 15 years. They probably spoke, in a tone which is same, and you like if A is speaking or the B is speaking. But today, in current day, in present day, they don't even talk. Why? At one point, the CEO brought an outsider onto the board. He knew this person from earlier and trusted his industry experience. Around the same time, an important deal was happening for the company. Initially, everyone was confident, but later, the investor reduced the valuation. The co founder wanted to accept the deal, the CEO was against it, and the outsider on the board was somewhere in between, those slightly leaning towards rejecting the offer. Finally, the deal failed, and after 6 months, the co founder resigned. Now, if you hear the story from the co founder's side, he felt the CEO had brought an outsider only to influence decision and corner him indirectly. He also became suspicious because the outsider belonged to the same community as the CEO. He felt isolated. He felt emotionally hurt. The outsider's name was such he never able to identify his religion, his identity. But when he came to know, he felt very, it's like it's been bulldozed in between. And later when the deal happened, the other another deal, not the same deal, after after almost a year, another deal happened, and that deal was the lesser than the 20% of the what the previous company has offered. His pain became more deeper. In his story, he was the victim. Now, if we'll hear the CEO's side, according to him, bringing the outsider was a purely business decision. He genuinely believed that person had the right exposure and experience for the company. From his perspective, it was never about controlling anyone. And after the first deal failed, things became difficult internally. The co founder became emotionally disconnected and stopped contributing fully. The CEO felt abandoned during the company's toughest phase. According to him, he alone carried the pressure of saving the company. And eventually, he closed another deal at a lower valuation because he had no better option left. In his story, he was also the victim. And then there was me. I was also feeling like a victim in my story. Just 6 months before the deal, I had received ESOP from the company, but I felt they were unfair. I had spent 4 years working sincerely, mostly silently, no chest stumping. I handled audits, I managed difficult responsibilities, I cleared the due diligence process, but still I felt undervalued. The CEO later told me he wanted to give me more money, or you can say the more reward or more cut from, or I say more bonus to me from after the deal happened from his personal money. But he said that the co-founder objected because he told that I didn't have the job, so I am financially struggling. And guys, here we are talking about crores of rupees. It's not about 1 2 3 4 crores of rupees, And honestly, at that time, all this affected me deeply because I was very emotionally attached to that company. Even the entire episode pushed me into a anxiety. But slowly, through meditation, through life, through my spiritual journey, something inside me started changing. Today, after visiting 10 Jyotirlingas, I no longer feel that strong victim mindset inside me. And honestly, this feels much lighter, much more powerful. Because constantly feeling like a victim slowly makes us negative. It drains energy, it keeps us emotionally stuck in the past, and strangely, sometimes we even start enjoying that pain, like addiction, like alcohol, like the emotional adrenaline rush we get from anger, blame, and self pity. But life starts changing when when we stop asking why did this happen to me and start asking what is the experience trying to teach me. Maybe some situations are simply clearing old karma. Some darkness, some struggles are your past life karma and here to clean it. Maybe some losses are preparing us for a different path. Maybe not every painful experience is a punishment. Sometimes it's a transformation. It's preparation to meet Shiva, to make you pure. So try not to stay trapped inside the identity of a victim. Observe your pain, learn from it, but do not build your home inside it. So don't be the victim, be the victor. Thank you very much. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.